Hello and welcome. This is Charlie from Conservatives Informing Conservatives and CIC News for You. China is on the hot seat again, but you would not know it from our biased news media that is more concerned with promoting the takedown of Donald Trump over the security of our nation. While they are not doing their jobs, China continues to move forward with attacking our country and extracting our college research and scientific treasures. Thank goodness, our government is starting to act and are charging college professors that are basically working for China as spies in broad daylight. You would think this would be front page news, but you can forget our media helping because they have been afflicted by the Trump derangement syndrome and they show the signs of this affliction daily by not doing their job, in my opinion. So, what is China doing now? They are working very hard in extracting secrets from our colleges, the same institutions we depend on for our freedoms and advancements in scientific discoveries. Discoveries mostly created through grants that our government pays for in research funding. But as you will see, we have some professors that are playing double agent with our secrets. And I think this is only the tip of the iceberg. Not only are they providing our secrets to China, they are hiding the facts of their efforts, which is why I call them double agents. Hiding what they do is a sure sign that they well know what they are doing is wrong. Very wrong. No mercy, in my opinion, for these professors. How is China doing this, you may ask? By a publicly known program called Thousand Talents Program. This program, which has been around for quite some time now, has been stealing and getting our professors to steal state secrets. State secrets that our government is paying colleges to develop for our country, not for the purpose of making professors rich or advancing China. Thankfully, at least, our Senate is trying to dig into this issue. A recently published U.S. Senate investigation on China's actions accurately document the efforts of China. But I am not sure anyone is reading it. At least the media is not reading it, or it would be headlines over the many current day attacks focused on Trump. Our media is lacking and in a sorry state at this time, in my opinion. They have lost their way. So, what did the Senate find out about the Thousand Talents program from China? Well, for one, it's directed at foreign, trained scientists and experts to provide China access to know how, expertise, and foreign technology. For what, you may ask? How about for China's economic development and military modernization? Two, China designed the Thousand Talents plan to recruit 2,000 high-quality overseas talents, including scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs, and finance experts. The plan provides salaries, research funding, lab space, and other incentives to lure experts into researching for China. This technique is working, and we have proof with 4 professors using this plan. I'll cover them later. Who controls this plan? Of course, the Chinese Communist Party controls this plan, and they lead the efforts of the plan. This is so important to the CCP that they created an oversight program to coordinate its recruitment efforts, and the party has total control over this plan. That should tell you something. The contracts of this program get members to lie on grant applications to U.S. grant-making agencies, to set up shadow labs in China working on research identical to our research, and in some cases transfer U.S. scientists' hard-earned intellectual capital. How is this not a crime that the news media covers? Our lack in media is allowing the Chinese Communist Party to operate without interference. What else do we need to know? We need to know everything that the CCP is doing to try and take us down. And I mean take us down. While we have to have interactions, we should never forget the goals of the CCP, and they are not in line with our country's goals. We are currently being attacked, and our college professors are part of the attack. They're actually part of the problem. We need transparency and accountability. So let's look at 4 public disclosures about professors that have sporadically hit the news, and I think there are many more to come. Simon Eng of the University of Arkansas was arrested and charged on wire fraud. The New York Times actually reported he worked for and received funding from Chinese companies and from Thousand Talents program, which awards grants to scientists to encourage relationships with the Chinese government. And on top of that, he warned an associate to keep his affiliation with the program quiet. This is a college professor, so he is supposedly highly educated. So he knew he was doing wrong, or otherwise, why would he tell his associate to keep it quiet? The New York Times also stated that Dr. Zhai Jiang Li, hope I got that right, a former professor at Emory University, pleaded guilty to a felony charge of filing a false tax return that omitted $500,000 that he received from the Thousand Talents program. That's a lot of money. He was sentenced to a year and ordered to pay $35,000 in restitution. $35,000, and he didn't report $500,000. I don't know, something wrong with that. And all he got was probation? That doesn't seem right. If this was you or I, we would be in jail. Just my opinion. In January, a top Harvard scientist, Dr. Charles Lieber, was arrested for lying to the U.S. government about his involvement in the Thousand Talents program. What makes this case concerning is that Dr. Lieber was receiving $15 million from our government in grant funding. And what does he do? He joins efforts with China and received an additional $150,000 per year and $1.5 million to set up a lab in Wuhan. I find that very disturbing. According to court documents, since 2008, Dr. Lieber, who had served as the principal investigator of the Lieber Research Group at Harvard, specialized in the area of nanoscience. He received more than $15 million from the National Institutes of Health. And then he goes and works for China. Something's wrong with that. Prosecutors say that he was paid $50 a month, that's not too bad, and was given $150,000 a year for living expenses, and he was also given $1.5 million to build a lab in Wuhan. I sure hope it wasn't the lab that's having the problems that we're discussing. Alright, now, we got one more. The FBI claims Qing Wang, hope I said it right again, a U.S. citizen born in China, lied to receive more than $3.6 million in grants from our National Institutes of Health, while he was also collecting money for the same research from the Chinese government. For the same research? So isn't that spying? He's doing it for us and then he's giving it to China, at least in my opinion. And the FBI agent said this is not a case of simple omission. Mr. Wang knew exactly what he was doing, as well as abusing our policies. It is time for government money to stop going to these institutions that cannot control their employees. These abuses of our regulations are an internal attack on our country and our secrets. It is time to hold these folks accountable, in my opinion. Okay, we need to be concerned, we need to be aware, and we need to inform others. We no longer have a media that follows journalistic standards. So it is up to us to get the word out. I thank you guys for watching this video and hope you enjoyed it. I am always working on the next video, but I am only a one-man, or to say it politically correct, I am only a one-person effort trying to do my part in protecting our country and ensuring freedom of information, especially given the lack of principles from the media and the liberal left politicians. Be safe, be informed, and stay informed by following CIC News for You. Signing off, Charlie.